Hi, Chanell. How are you?
Hi, Theo.
Well,
How
thank
are
you for coming.
I'm excited to be here.
I know. Yeah, this is the first time in the space.
It
first
is. It's
time.
nice. Congratulations.
Thank
Super
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
We've been
Thank
doing
you.
this thing for a little while, so to see you grow.
I know. We've known each other for a little bit over a year now.
Yeah, it feels like longer, though.
Well, it does feel like longer.
Maybe because we're doing business together and just going on this business journey together.
I know. We're all trying to make it out here.
I need some money.
It's hard out here in the streets. It's hard out here in the streets. Just
really
trying to
is.
make it.
That's it.
So tell me, like, the people who don't know, like, what do you do? I know you do. You're in you everywhere, girl. But tell me what you be doing.
I think I do too much. To be honest, I need to slow down. So my name is Chanell Smiley. I am a mental health therapist, and I have a private practice called Keep Smiling Therapy. But we also have a nonprofit called Smile More in Life Every Day, where we help pay for mental health services. We do community engagement. We do community workshops and stuff like that to make people more comfortable with having the conversation in regards to mental health.
Yeah. Okay. And what made you start that?
What made me start which one?
I mean, let's start with the mental health portion.
You know, I always loved to help people. Like, I know since I was young, I wanted to help people. And I didn't really know which direction I was going to go and when I went to college. So believe it or not, my first major is accounting. I'm probably like the only therapist in the world that likes numbers. Like, no therapist likes numbers.
I mean, I at least know your books. Hey, you don't have to look at the camera, by the way.
Oh, you don't?
No,
okay, look, I'm learning. Look at you.
I know, you're like trying
it's
to...
just, okay.
You just look at me.
I'm new to this, guys. Okay, let me get comfortable. I can't cross my legs. My pants too tight.
I mean, you came, you knew you'd be on camera. She's like, I come here looking good.
I did my best with what I had.
I had to get the kids to school.
I had to get the kids, and it was a rough morning, and the little girl ponytail fell out. So she had a moment. The little boy was acting up, and the success was we got them on the bus.
Exactly.
So I was like, you know what?
Somebody else's problem for 6 hours.
Go, please, hurry up. But back to what made me go into mental health. So like I said, my first major was accounting, and then it was boring. Like, I like numbers, but I like to do it more as a hobby. I don't think I would want to do it full time.
Yeah.
Plus, people don't talk in accounting. I'm a talker.
Yeah,
obviously. They're looking at me like, girl, shut up.
Like, girl, just do your numbers.
Right, you're talking way too much.
So,
So then I went into human services. I went into criminal justice, and then I was going to be a nurse. And I'm like, all right, nurses make money.
Nurses make money.
They make
But
money.
you're on your feet all day.
Shout out to all the nurses out there. That's a tough
shout out
job.
to all the nurses.
And I got into the nursing program, and then I realized I had to deal with blood and throw up. I don't want to do that. And you got to wrap up dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like, I can help you process the death. I don't want to be there to wrap it up. So somebody gave me a book on 101 things social workers do. So I decided to go the social work route. Within being in my master's program, I learned more about mental health. And I was so intrigued with mental health, like anxiety and depression. And I realized, especially in our community, there's so many of us that has suffered from these symptoms, but we don't even know because it's not a conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it was my first time hearing about it, but when I got into my master's program is when I really, really was like, wait a second. I know a lot of people that have these symptoms. And I ain't never heard I had anxiety in my life or depression.
I probably have those symptoms right now. But the way we deal about it is just joking about everything.
We joke about everything's a joke. Because you know what it is? We come from a like our parents were surviving, right? So for them, it was like you have food on the table, you have clothes on your back. What are you upset about?
An education.
What you sad about?
Yeah,
Then you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
I'll give you something to cry about.
That part. So like we didn't have a platform to really express our feelings and emotions because we had to be grateful for the basic needs of life.
Yeah.
So when I got to my master's program, I was like, wait, I definitely know myself have suffered from some of these symptoms and other people. And then I realized how taboo mental health is in our community. Nobody talks about that at all.
Not at all.
You can't say you're depressed. Now in 2024, it's getting a lot better. But when we were growing up, you can't say you're depressed. Ain't crazy.
You could be depressed. You could lay in bed for a day, but you got to work in the morning.
You ain't got a chance to be depressed. All you can do is take a nap.
Yes.
I always
still do that.
When I'm having a bad day, I gotta go to sleep.
Just don't talk to me for a couple of hours. I need to lay down.
All we get is a nap.
Yes.
And then you gotta wake up and redo this thing called life again.
Exactly.
And you have to forget about all the problems that were going on because you got bills to pay. You got a family to feed. Our moms worked multiple jobs and stuff like that. So they weren't home to really they made sure there was food on the table, but they weren't home to really ask you how your day is. And if they did ask you how your day is, just fine, did good, teacher was cool. We didn't go in depth because we didn't have, I think, honestly, the tools to do that.
Yeah. I want to give you props because when I met you, as far as I know, in Long Island, in the Melville area you're the only Black-owned therapist practice, right?
I don't know about that.
I feel like you are. I mean,
I don't know. Listen, I know it's very slim.
It's very slim.
Very slim. And we're a growing practice. Some people only have like an individual practice. So we have multiple clinicians. So maybe.
Yeah. And it was all women. You just hired your first.
I did. Isaac. Shout out to the Black Men Therapists.
Yes. Because you don't see most of those.
No, and there has been such a need for Black men therapists. And people have been asking me for a Black male therapist.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go to one of your therapists for a while, but now you got Isaac. I'm like, I need to go to Isaac.
Who is Isaac?
Is that what his name is? Isaac?
Earl.
Calling me out. I thought you said Isaac.
I never said Isaac.
Isaac is my
Earl, Isaac is the same.
Okay, Earl, sorry.
Black people will just give people names too. One thing they will do is make a name up.
My man over there. But yeah, how is Earl doing?
He is amazing. The funny thing about Earl is I met Earl about a year ago. We actually did a workshop together. What was the workshop? It was a panel. We was on a panel together. And that was my first time meeting him. And it wasn't one of my first panels, but it was in the beginning of me starting to speak, so I was extremely nervous, and they didn't give us an outline of what we're going to talk about. So I'm like, I don't even know what we're about to talk about. And I'm like, you know what, Chanell, you love what you do. You're good at what you do. You can do this. And he was one of the people on the panel. And when I tell you he's such a phenomenal, strong speaker, I was like, okay. So I knew I had to get him because just how impactful he was in that room. I'm like, I know he could be so impactful in so many people's lives. So I had to snatch him up.
Tell him that to keep his book open because he needs to see me at least once a month. I know I have some traumas to work through.
We all do.
I know.
I always tell people nobody's fully healed. We're all forever healing.
Yes.
Like nobody's like, I'm healed, I'm good. Like we're all forever. Even me.
Yeah.
Forever healed. I got my demons. I just got the tools in my toolbox to deal with them. That's it.
That's good. I like that.
I got some tools to be like, you cannot go about it that way. That's inappropriate.
We like sit down, put them on a leash. So this summer you did I'm trying not to say like a lot. I realized looking at these past podcasts that I fill in with the word like, and I'm being hyper vigilant of it now. So if you hear me say like, call me, say, Theo, you said like again.
Okay.
But this summer you did a beach
accountability group.
A beach accountability. I obviously didn't make it to any.
You were supposed to come to 2.
I was supposed to come to 2. I didn't. But how did that go? Like, tell me the process of why you started that, and how did that go, and how did it help people who did go?
Oh my God. So it was something that I wanted to do since last year. But we was going to do, and we might still do it, like a Zoom situation. But then the gala happened. So much happened, I couldn't squeeze it in.
That's another conversation, your gala.
Oh, yes. So the summertime came. I'm like, you know what? Having, sitting down at a beach and having conversations, just the atmosphere. Sometimes the atmosphere just changed the conversations, right? It's a little bit more comfortable. So who doesn't want to go to a nice beach, right? So the whole purpose of the accountability group is all of us can use an accountability partner. And research has shown that when somebody's holding you accountable to your goals, whatever your goals are, and you have to report to somebody, the chances of you succeeding is higher.
Okay. So
you can know we're entrepreneurs. And one thing I tell myself as being an entrepreneur, sometimes I'll make these goals and I'm laxy-daisy on them. But when I was working for corporate America, I was on top of it because, I wanted my boss to see that I'm doing my job. I didn't want to be questioned.
Commission.
I want all that stuff, right? So I'm like, why are you not treating your business the way you treated when you worked in corporate America? Because there was somebody that was holding me accountable to these tasks. So now I try to make sure I have accountability partners that hold me accountable to my tasks to make sure I succeed. Because some days I'm like, I don't want to do that today. I can lay in the bed. Because we have the flexibility, right, of making our schedule versus me having to be to work from 8 to 4 and do what I have to do. So with a lot of my clients, they come to therapy, and I realized that they can use a little push from an accountability partner. So I was talking about it with a couple of my clients. I was talking about it with a couple of therapists inside the office. And they were like, yeah, you should do an accountability group. And the beautiful thing about the accountability group is everybody came with their own individual goals. We didn't make your goals up for you. You came with your goals. No goal was too big or too small. Some goals could be weight loss goals. Some could be a wellness goals. Some could be financial goals. So whatever it was. And when we went around the group, we set up what our goals were. We were making sure the goals were SMART goals, right? So some people just have goals, like I want to buy a house. It's like, okay, when, where, how much, what's your budget? So we help people understand that, how to break your goals into SMART goals. And then we gave them tasks at the at the end of each accountability group. And then when they came back in 2 weeks, they had to say the progress they made on the task.
That's really good.
So that was the part that people liked. It was like, oh, I actually did my work, or they was doing in advance. Or if some people couldn't make the accountability group in 2 weeks because it was every other week, they would send an email or a text which like, oh, I did my part, just let the group know. And a lot of people said it definitely helped them out. One individual in the group actually wanted to take his licensing exam. And at the end of the group, he took his license exam and he passed. Wow. Yeah, so that was like our big success story because he took it, I think, twice or once and he failed. But then we helped him come up with a study routine. We told him, and that's the thing about the accountability group, right? It's a whole bunch of people also giving you ideas. Like, oh, why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? And you can see what
you think you have all the ideas, then you realize, no, I didn't have all the ideas.
I have learned that sometimes when you love what you do and you're in your thing, the answer is so simple, but you can't see it because you're just so engulfed in it, right? You're just here. And the answer, I remember my first gala, I was trying to print out like menus. And then I needed, I wanted cards so people could donate and all that stuff. And I'm like going crazy because we over budget. And somebody said, why don't you just do a QR code? And I'm like,
I was like, yeah, why don't I do that?
They was like, you could do one QR, you could take one sheet of paper, put 8 QR codes, cut them up and put them on each table, and that's that. So that would save you about $1,000. And it was like, why do you think I do that?
Because you're so busy thinking about everything else. Yeah.
That's why it's so important to have an accountability partner or be a part of an accountability group or just somebody to go back and forth with your ideas with. Because I always tell people, I know people say, keep your, keep your plans or your goals to yourself. No, I need to speak them out loud to somebody.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to speak them out because somebody might have the answers that you don't have.
That's why it's important to have a support system. People that you actually trust, right? Yeah. Some people just want to say it out there and be, everybody's hating on me. Yeah. It's like, no, a couple people that you trust that you know are rooting for you. Just say, what do you think about this? And get their feedback and listen to them.
Yeah. That's how I felt like that we kind of met through a group like that, Huga. Yes, because Brittany had brought you to an
Shout out to Brittany and shout out to Adam.
Yes, and shout out to Liz as well.
Yes. Oh, we love Liz. Love Liz.
Yes. And we spoke at a conference at the mediation conference this past summer. Which was literally the day after your gala, which I didn't make because I was speaking that day at the conference. But you went to the gala, woke up in the morning, took the train up to Saratoga. Girl, like...
Didn't I tell you I do too much? That was the definition of doing too much. Because why would I book both those things like that and do it?
Like at your own gala, I would not have woken up.
Woke up, left the castle, got dressed, jumped on a train, wasn't feeling well because I probably was sick from ripping and running the whole week. Yeah. Did an amazing job at the conference. Thank God it was amazing. And then shout out to Brittany and Liz again. They drove me home because I was going to take the train back. And they're like, we'll just drive you home. I'm like, I was sleeping in the backseat. I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. I'm not here.
It'd just be like that sometimes. Because you don't want to give up on those opportunities.
Especially with us being new business owners, right? You have to expose yourself as much as possible and trying to find the work-life balance. As I like to say for us, work-life harmony, because balance is like 9 to 5 and then I go to the gym at 6 and then we don't have that. Our lives are so up and down that we have to have harmony. So I might not go to the gym today, but I might do 2 hours tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. I haven't been to the gym at all, y'all, and I need to go. It's just an example.
If it's not on my calendar, I don't do it. You know what I did? I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. So... And this morning, you wake up at 5 a.m. and then you just open up your phone and you start scrolling before you get out of bed. So I was scrolling and on Instagram, I saw one of those posts that says how to maximize your PTO days in 2025. And those posts where it's just like, if you take 3 days here, you actually get 5 days off. So we're business owners. We don't got PTO. I mean, we don't got PTO. But I took 10 minutes to like look at those dates and go to my calendar and put on my calendar out of the office on all those days. So like a year and ahead, I'm already putting myself out of the office on like holidays and stuff, because if I don't do it, I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it.
You know? And then now when someone's just like, are you available this day? Like, I'm going to say no, because I'm going to take the day off.
That's that harmony. I don't know what a day off is.
I don't know what a day off is.
But I'm learning. That's actually, so one thing I'm big on is self-care. And what I had to learn is I'm doing 40 countries for 40 guys.
Okay.
I'm on country 19. I only started 2 years ago. So I guess I thought self-care was traveling. And it is traveling. But you can't travel all day, every day, as much as I would love to. I need to be a content creator who gets paid for traveling.
You should.
Let's do that.
Just do
like,
it.
Help me figure that part out.
You just do. You just need a assistant that's just gonna post for you.
Yeah,
just send them the videos and they post
just go.
Yeah.
That's my next life. So I thought that going on all these vacations was self-caring, because I had never been out the country. I didn't go to the country that much when I was younger. So I realized, though, over the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months, that self-care is small.
Yes.
It's small.
Taking a walk.
If I am out the country, but I'm on my computer, because every time I'm on vacation, I'm on that computer still answering emails.
No. Your team is awesome, though. They can't handle it for like 2-3 days?
They can. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm 1,000% the problem. I am the problem. I'm learning.
I do remember you were in Dubai. And I saw you post that. You're just like, look at me, I'm in the lounge and the ladies are taking care of me. I'm like, girl, you in Dubai. Why are you up at 2 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, Singapore. It was not Dubai, it was Singapore. Yes. I'm like, why you
I was going downstairs every night to work. They gave me a little section to go work. And I'm like, over here doing Zoom calls because it's a 12-hour difference. So it's 2 a.m. for me, but it's 2 p.m. over here. I'm like, I remember that. So guys,
I'm over here ragging on you. I did the same thing when I was in the Philippines. I remember I had booked a call for 3 p.m., but that's 3 a.m. Philippines time. And I was like, I'm going to put my alarm and wake up, right? I was working till like midnight. I put my alarm for like 2:50 a.m. I woke up, it was 6 a.m. I said, I missed my meeting. I had to like email, apologize, redo it. Luckily, I still got the business.
Yay! A win is a win.
Yeah, a win is a win. But like, I told myself, I always wanted to be a digital nomad. And my type of business, digital marketing, I'm able to do that. I'm able to hire like the best talent from any state, any country. And I was like, I could definitely do work in Asia or Europe. No.
But those time zones.
If I'm not in the same time zone, I don't want to do it. It throws you off, because then you have to think like, do I have to nap? Do I have to eat dinner here? What can I do? Like, no.
And a lot of times when we're in those countries, we're not living there, right? We're vacationing there. So I think that for instance, if you're doing business with somebody in Singapore, but we're in New York, we're going to adjust it around our time. So we might do 9 a.m. their time, which is 9 p.m. our time. That's fine. But when you're on vacation, you're like, I still want to see Singapore. I still want to do these things. So now you're being adventurous.
Yeah.
And then coming back and trying to focus.
Yeah. Like, I have to find a cafe because I got a call.
With good Wi-Fi and a quiet background.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you need to chill out. My form of self-care, I love massages. I started getting into a facial routine.
Nice. Your skin looks amazing too.
Thank you. I do masks. I do like exfoliation. I'm probably one of the only guys with a really good facial routine. And, gym and going for walks. I've been going for a lot of walks. Like if I have an hour or so, I'll go for like a 30-minute walk.
That's beautiful. So for me, it is similar. Taking a walk. Also, just sitting down and being in the moment. I realized the other day, getting the kids ready for school, right? So it's the day before school. My daughter needed some Nike socks. Don't ask why they had to be Nike socks. The high Nike socks.
Yo, you be going above and beyond for your kids. I see it. I'm like, your daughter.
They don't appreciate me.
She better take care of you when you're old.
I tell us if I had to put a nursing home, I'm going to haunt you.
You did not put you in a nursing home.
You better not put me in a nursing home. I better get top-notch care, okay? I want the best of the best. So I'm trying to get these Nike socks. And I get to the mall at like 10:30. Macy's is open, but the mall doesn't open until 11. So I'm trying to find them in Finish Line. I'm trying to find them in Macy's. They don't have them in Macy's. So now I decide I'm going to wait until
the mall opens.
But I'm in the mall, so they got the little Starbucks. So they got a couple of things open. But the sneaker stores aren't open for these socks. And I'm always used to rushing, right? This is just like, I think it's the New Yorker in us. It's go. Even when we have nowhere to go, we still going somewhere.
Why you got to get there so quickly?
I don't know. We be rushing. So I went and I got me a coffee and a croissant. And I'm walking with the coffee and the croissant. And I'm like about to drop the croissant, trying to walk. But it's 10:45 and the store's still not open for 15 minutes. So where am I rushing to? To stand in front of empty store?
Because there's going to be a line, of course.
Right. And there was no line because nobody was there except for me, right? So I said to myself, slow down. Damn. And there was a little spot in the mall. I sat on the couch and I just ate the croissant and drunk the little tea. And for me, that was such a moment for me, as small as that was, because I realized I don't even enjoy food. Because every time I'm eating, I'm in the car or I'm walking. So but like I actually sat down and sipped on my tea and ate my croissant. And I was like, this is part of the self-care, just slowing down. Yes. And by me slowing down, it's like, now you can really think about your day. So then when I thought about it, I'm like, you're rushing and your appointment is not until 2:00. So where are you rushing to go? Home?
Yeah, exactly.
So I sat down for the 15 minutes and really bit my croissant and drunk my little tea. And then I went and got the socks and I drove home. Yeah. And I had an hour still left of time to work with. So my thing is learning how to slow down.
My thing is also learning how to be curious. One story I have is about a year or so ago, I went out with some clients. We were in Brooklyn. We went to... I forgot where we went. We went to a club in Brooklyn. And so everybody was leaving around 2 a.m. I had driven there. I was sober. I had driven there. And I was walking back to my car. And then I just hear loud music. And mind you, it's like 2 in the morning.
You love music.
Yeah, I love music. So it was like 2 in the morning. I should have just taken my ass home. But I was like curious, right? So I decided to like walk around the block and follow the music at 2 a.m. I end up in front of Brooklyn Mirage. Now, we all know like Brooklyn Mirage has some problems with like, guys going missing now. And there's
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's been like bodies found in like the canal for people who went to go to Brooklyn Mirage. Yeah. Anyway, I go to Brooklyn Mirage and I see a concert going on. Obviously, you have to pay to get in, but I just walk in. The DJ doesn't stop. Not the DJ. The security doesn't stop me. I walk up to see who's DJing. I think it's Deadmau or one of those really top EDM.
Okay.
Like, you know who he is. I'll get the name and get back to you. And I end up at like a Deadmau concert out of nowhere at 2 a.m. It's his last set. The last set, it's always the best songs that everybody knows. I was in there, I was partying, and then I just left. I went home, and it was like being curious and just like finding time, not having to rush home. Like, I wanted to rush home, but my kids were asleep. Everybody's asleep. It's 2 a.m. It's a Saturday night. So same thing when I went away. I decided to just take a walk down the beach, and there's a dock where you could fish and stuff out of. And I just decided to go for a swim. It said no swimming, but I just said it was
the things you were doing though. It said no swimming, go for a swim anyway.
Yeah, but it was clear, crystal clear.
I'm gonna sneak into the club anyway. Yeah, you're curious is dangerous.
It's just YOLOs.
Theo is such a YOLO guy.
I am. Really you only live once. Literally, what YOLO means.
Literally.
So that's just my thing. Just taking time to live life the way it should be lived.
And that's the thing about it. I always tell people to enjoy the journey, right? And I had to sit back and say, I'm doing all these amazing things, right? With the nonprofit and the for-profit and the gala and the accountability group and being a mom. But because I'm moving so fast, when I sat down and ate that croissant and drank that tea, I said to myself, am I really enjoying the moments, or am I just moving to get things done? What's the point of doing all this if you're not going to enjoy every last moment of it?
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, my self-care is like really just slowing down, enjoying the moments, going for a walk. I love a walk.
Yeah.
I love scenery.
Yeah.
So when I just walk, and even if I'm walking in residential neighborhoods, in my head, I own all the houses. And I always tell myself, oh, I would do this to that house. I would do this. I don't know why in my head, like, I would do that window bigger, or I would do the side in this way. So when if I'm on a treadmill, I get bored.
Same. I cannot walk on a treadmill. But
I'm walking a park, a lake, or even a residential, I'm just going up and down. I'm like, oh yeah, I would do that. Oh wow, this house is nice. And I don't realize that it's been 3 miles that I've been walking because of that.
You also have to think about where you came from in terms of like just a year ago compared to where you are right now.
Yeah.
You would never think that you would be where you thought I thought I'd be working for the rest of my life. And I still will be working for the rest of my life. But when you invest into yourself,
see, that's the part. We took the leap of faith to leave corporate America to do this entrepreneur thing, which is something that we love. Mm-hmm. We have to enjoy it because we can get caught up in the day-to-day operations.
Go ahead.
Okay. Cut me out. We can get caught up in the day-to-day operations of just going. But we took such a leap of faith to leave corporate America. So let's enjoy it a little bit more. So we will be working, but it doesn't, like I tell people, I'm tired. I do a lot. I move too much, but I enjoy it. Yeah. Right? I can't say that I hate getting up.
No, I can't say that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. There will be a time when we'll be able to chill. I do know that I do enjoy the time off that I have now. It's a lot more fun.
It is. And you could do, like right now, it's 11 a.m. and I'm here with you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't miss no kids' activities. I don't have to ask somebody for
Exactly. That's the thing.
Kids I don't miss no activities with the kids and stuff like that. Like I really enjoy the freedom and the flexibility. But people don't understand the sacrifice that comes with that. Because sometimes the only thing I do miss about corporate America is at 4:00 your day is done. That too. Some consistent money every week. I know I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Some weeks you get nice.
His day is done. You don't have to think about work till you're there the next day. Now you're just like, I'd be laying in bed at 9 p.m. Be like, I forgot to do.
Yeah, I got to respond to that email. God dang it, I forgot to. What my schedule look like tomorrow? Hey, I definitely said yes to 5 things, and I can't do all of those things. Yeah. But when you work in corporate America, and let me make it real clear to everybody, there's nothing wrong with having a traditional job. No. This is not for everybody. No. And I always say, if I knew what I knew then, I probably would never left corporate America, to be honest with you, because all the sacrifices that you have to take in the emotional roller coaster, I'm too in deep now. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. But the beginning, I've been doing this now for 4 years. The sacrifices, the emotional roller coaster, the inconsistency with the money. Some weeks you can make a lot, the next week you can make nothing. That stuff will take you here. And that's not for everybody. I think you have to be a little off to do this.
Yeah, I call it delusional confidence.
I love that.
Delusional confidence. Yes, you need to be delusionally confident that you're going to make it when nobody else sees it.
Nobody else sees it. I love that.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Because some days you be like, how you going to do it? I don't know, but I am.
I don't know, I'm going to do it.
But I am. And you so confident, like, so you are? How?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody asked me, how you doing 40 countries for 40? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't be there now.
It was like, what's your plan? I'm gonna make it on the way. I'm trying to develop one, but I don't have one yet. And I did 19 countries in 2.5 years.
Look at that.
How I ask myself sometimes, how the hell did you do that?
Business expense.
I wish.
It's for your mental health.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I need to do a retreat.
No, we should do. There's a retreat. There's a retreat called the CEO Entrepreneur CEO's Retreat. Blavity does it. You know Morgan DeBaum with Blavity? She is the CEO of Blavity, and she is also the one that they created Afrotech.
Okay.
So every spring, they call it CEO Spring Break.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of Black CEOs. It's like $2-3 grand. This year they went to either Colombia or Costa Rica, something like that. They come together, they do a retreat, they have fun, they party, they do like seminars. She started 2 years ago. I've been wanting to go, but I always tell myself, I'm gonna do it next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it next year. And the same way, how you gonna do it? I don't know, I'm gonna do it.
You know you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
The same way I'm on this podcast. I told myself, what was it, last year? I need to start doing podcasts. Yeah. But I didn't want to do podcasts.
You're a good talker. You should do a podcast.
Yeah.
I've done too much.
know what?
Here I go instigating.
Fair. It was fearful. I'm like, so I said, let me start by going on podcasts, but then I never went on podcasts. And people, you want to come on my podcast? I'm like, I guess.
Yeah.
So you just throw it out there, manifestation. Throw it out there in the universe. It comes.
It'll happen. But where can we find you? Where could we get more information about everything that you're doing? Social media, websites, anything. Shout yourself out.
Okay, so on social media, I am Chanell Smiley. Instagram is Chanell_Smiley. Facebook and everything else is Chanell Smiley. The business page is Keep Smiling Therapy. And then the nonprofit page is Smile More in Life Every Day. Next time I come here, we have to talk about the gala. I have to tell you more about the gala. The gala will be next year, May 2025. Stay tuned. We're going to always have a blast.
Yes.
It's a time.
And I'll make it next year.
Yes, you will.
But once you know the date, give it to me so I can block it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.